This is the Beyond the Box dumbbell workout. Before getting to the workout, check out our Instagram post for the warm-up. Want to make sure you're getting yourself ready for the workout, but increasing your heart rate, increasing your body temperature, and you're getting a little bit of a sweat on before we get into it. For today's strength portion, we're going to be working on a superset of dumbbell bench press and bent over rows. This will be done as 2 sets of 8 reps, 3 sets of 6 reps, and 2 sets of 4 reps. Starting with the dumbbell bench press. If you have a bench, use a bench. If you don't have a bench, you can do these from the floor. Couple ways that we can do that on the floor. I'll show those to you after I show you on the bench. We can also, if you have a box or if you have a table that is sturdy enough, you can also use that as well. When I get into this, I want to make sure that my feet are firmly planted and I'm getting my heels down to the ground, creating tension in my legs to support myself and give me a little bit more balance. When I have balance, I'm going to feel more control. I'm going to be able to exert a little bit more force when I have that balance and control. So start with the weight on your legs. You're going to lay yourself back, bringing the dumbbells to your shoulders, legs pressed into the floor, nice and tight throughout. I'm squeezing my butt, digging my butt into the bench. Shoulders are in the bench and my head is in contact with the bench as well. I'm going to press my arms overhead in front of the body and then bring them back down slow and in control. Touch my chest, touch my shoulders, back up. This is how my bench press is going to look for my 8, 6, or 4 reps. We want to be adding weight as we go to find something that's moderately heavy for those weights. Want to make sure that we don't have any breakdowns. So if you find that you went a little bit too far or a little too ambitious with the weight selection, back it off a little bit to something that's a little bit more manageable, more in control, and then we can modify and progress as you revisit this workout. Following the bench, careful, we're going to go into dumbbell bent over rows. So I have hand on the bench and then 3 points of contact between my legs, my feet in contact with the floor, and my hand on the bench. I have this back leg out of the way. I could be here and just kind of really lean out over forward and bend over here, but I prefer to have this. It's up to you how you want to do that. Nice and tight and active through the shoulders, tight through my midline, nice good brace, and I'm going to pull my elbow back. Dumbbell is going to end up at my waist or at my side, and then slowly lower down with control. Maintaining an active shoulder throughout. So as I bring the dumbbell back down, I'm not disengaging and almost having my arm get pulled out of a socket. So I want to keep my arm nice and active, shoulders nice and tight. Do my 8, 6, or 4 reps on one arm, 8, 6, or 4 reps on the other arm. Now let's talk about some of the options we have for the dumbbell bench from the floor. So if I don't have a bench or something sturdy for me to lay on, I can do these presses from the floor. So maintain the same position, feet are flat, nice and tight, press my low back into the floor, and I can do my presses from here. I could also go into a bridge, create a little bit more midline activation, get my posterior chain involved here a little bit as well, and press through here as well. This is going to increase the difficulty, which may be a little bit more beneficial and a little bit closer to what the feeling is on the bench. Bench over rows, can use one dumbbell as I bend over. Nice and sturdy through here, nice and tight. Going into my bent over rows from here as well. Do my 8 or 6 or 4, go to the other side. Once I'm done that superset, take as much rest as needed to complete it. I'm going to go into our Metcon. For the Metcon, we have a 10-minute AMRAP of 8 burpees to a 15-pound plate or some elevated height or marker, 10 dumbbell reverse lunge thrusters. And I'll show you what those look like. And you're going to finish it off with 8 hand release push-ups. So let's talk about those movements. Talk about the burpee. Burpee, let your chest come down to the plate or just in front of the plate, however you need to. But we want to make sure that when we jump up out of that burpee and stand up, that we are landing on top of that plate. So I'm going to be just in front, down to the plate, down to the floor. As I come up out of that, I'm going to jump and land on top of the plate. So not that I'm jumping off the floor, but I'm going to jump up, get into a good position coming out of that burpee, and then jump and land on top of the plate to get full extension at the top. Landing here on top of the burpee. So a little bit more explosion out of the burpee coming out of the position. Once I'm done the burpees to the plate, I'm going to go into my reverse lunge dumbbell thrusters. Get the weights to my shoulders, and I'm going to do 10 alternating steps where I step back. As I step up, drive out of that position and press the weight overhead. Bring the weights back down my shoulders, opposite leg, back, up. You're going to do that until you've done 5 per side or 10 total. And then you're going to finish off the round with 8 hand release push-ups. Want to make sure we're maintaining a good plank position. Nice and tight through here. I'm going to go down all the way to the floor. Maintain that position as I bring my hands off the floor. So break contact, plant, press back up. Notice how tight my midline stays throughout that movement. I'm not getting to the bottom, relaxing, and warming back up. Nice and tight throughout. All right, your score is the number of rounds and reps you can complete in 10 minutes. Get after it and have fun.